In today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about this concept of upper structure triads, because it's a really great way to get some more out of some relatively simple vocabulary and simple chords. And it's something that is actually quite a simple concept to grasp once you get it. And I'm going to make two further videos where I talk about using these in solos and where I talk about using them in kind of chords. But today's video is going to be just kind of an overview of the subject. So what is an upper structure triad? Maybe some of you are familiar with the term but don't know what it means. Maybe some of you kind of have it, and maybe some of you it's totally new, and that's awesome. But basically what an upper structure triad is it's playing a triad, so just a simple 3-note chord that is built above the root of whatever is actually happening harmonically. So one of the really common kind of uses for this is, say the chord symbol is G, and let's say I'm playing with a bassist in particular, there's a pretty good chance that the bassist is going to be doing this. He's going to be holding that G as a bass note. And the cool thing about this is if I play a B minor triad, I've now created a G major 7. And I can play any of my B minor triads will work. Oh, that was not one. There we go. So that all of them are going to work out really well over this G bass. The same thing could work, say I wanted to play G minor, say our bassist friend is handling that low note. If I wanted to get a minor sound, I would play a B flat major. Try it over it. Now I have a G minor 7. And I can do that again. Any of my B flats are going to sound, I'm making this G minor 7 sound. And then if I was a dominant chord, this is kind of the outlier. Say it's G7. If my bassist friend is handling this low G, I would play a B diminished triad over that. So there's one. And that's going to give me the sound of G7. So there's many other different kinds of upper structure triads you can play, because a triad is just a selection of 3 notes, so you can get pretty crazy with what you imply in the harmony. But these are kind of the main ones, and the nice thing about them is they follow this kind of flipped logic rule. So if I were playing a G major chord, my upper structure triad is going to be a minor triad built off of the 3rd. So in a G major chord we get G, B, and D. And then in my B minor triad I get B, D, and F sharp. And so if we put all of those notes together, I get this beautiful G major 7 sound. So this upper structure triad hack is a really good way of kind of accessing, like the name suggests, the upper levels of whatever harmony you're playing over. So for pretty much any major chord, you could play, and that's actually how these drop 3 voicings work, which is nice, is this. So I'm playing a G major 7 root position drop 3 chord, and that's got G, and then on top of it, I'm playing a 5th and bass B minor triad, which you know if you've done your harmonized major scales. That gives me G major 7. Now, for a minor chord, to make it a minor 7, you play a major triad off of the flat 3. So from here, for G minor, I have this B flat triad, and again, these drop 3 chords are really good examples of this, because I get my root, and then a 5th and bass B flat triad, and that's that. But again, I could do this anywhere. So say I wanted to play B flat major here, I have that. Then for dominant chords, and sorry, wait, I'll go into it for a second. So if we take a G minor triad, we have G, B flat, and D, and then in B flat major, we get B flat, D, and F, and that is the flat 3rd, the 5th, and the flat 7th of my G minor 7 chord. So major triads have a minor triad as their upper structure if you're going off of the 3rd. minor triads have a major, or minor 7 chords have a major triad off of the flat third, and then dominant chords get a diminished triad off of the major third. So for G7, a G major triad has G, B, and D. So you get this, that's the major sound. And then we need to get the note F on top of it, the flat 7. And so that's where B diminished gives us B, the major third, D, the 5th, and then F, the flat 7. And the thing that's really, really nice about these is it gives you kind of like, it's almost like a textural difference where so say I have a bassist, and let me actually really quick change to a patch where I actually have a low note. So say, there's my G low with the bassist. If I play this over top of it, it's a pretty heavy sound where we're hammering out that low note. But if I were to do the same thing and I'll sustain that low G, if I take that and I play this, it's a little bit lighter, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does make sense hearing it, but it gives you these kind of options to like there are times where you want it to sound huge and fat, and yes, of course, in those instances, double the note with the bassist. But this idea of upper structure triads lets you kind of live in a more lightweight space above the harmony that's already happening. So that's kind of my intro to this idea. Again, I'm going to have some videos out specifically where I go through some examples playing it in a single note context as if it was a solo, and I'll do another one where I'm talking about chords. But just as a basic idea to get into this concept, I wanted to explain what it was and kind of show you some ways that you can apply it. So hopefully you found this useful. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It really helps me out. If you want to take a guitar lesson with me, I have a link to the contact page of my website down in the description below. I would absolutely love to work with you. I've been working with a bunch of people from YouTube lately, and it's been really fun to connect with people, all over the world. And lastly, I got new videos coming out every Monday and every Thursday, so I hope to see you in the next one. And until I do, I'll wish you a wonderful day, and I hope you get to have some fun playing the guitar. Thanks.